We've got another dark and twisted one today, we eating. Darling in the Franxx. The genre typing. This one's a one-of-a-kind, post-apocalyptic, broken world, alien reality, deep plot, unconventional romance, deeply emotional and dark future Gundam anime that checks many boxes and is one of the most vivid shows in my memory. It has a couple flaws, but overall was an impactful banger that provides a lot of perspective and will leave you feeling some things. Is a necessary watch for any hardcore anime enjoyers, and even though it's rather new, it feels like a classic. My viewpoint when watching. Has a decent militaristic and dystopian world. Has complex MCs that are abstract to their environment. Feels like a dark future Pacific Rim. Is in an unnatural and rigged setup with dubious characters. Is centered around the two MCs, and their relationship is done outstandingly well. Most of the other characters' relationships feel flat, or not as good, or unwanted in comparison. A bunch of eps were about fixing those relationships, I did not care. The love struggle and inner pain hits like it should. Ishigo is a massive bitch, all my homies hate Ishigo. The quote-unquote group that supports the MCs is rather unlikable. I'm only here for 02 and Hero, and nobody else, but even so, that is enough. The action sequences are well animated, and there is overall nice styling, aside from one glaring issue, the mech battles. They are extremely cartoonish, and feel like they just don't belong. It's not cool enough, while the monsters, and regular environments, and story are all done in a cool way. Everything is way deeper than it appears, and is basically a giant metaphor for life. Elegance in its writing, but it lacks in the fight scenes and overall seriousness, until much later on. The ending was its own and closed it out, but left me kind of empty. Was a good experience, and unique that stands out. Greatest high points. The depth in its narrative and plot. The broken and nightmarish dystopian world. The MCs and their relationship. The notable twists. The explanations once they're given. The impactful and dark ending. What it makes you feel as a result. Worst qualms. I was only invested into the MCs, and didn't give two shits about many others. The mech battles did not fit, and were more so a nod to an outdated Gundam style. You can say that that's a biased opinion, based on taste, and yes, you'd be right, but I still believe it missed out on an opportunity, and wasn't as good as it could have been. For those not familiar with original Gundams, or for those who don't find that sort of thing cool, it became a harder pill to swallow, which is all I'm saying. Everything else had continuity, and felt like it belonged, other than that. Persuasion. The majority of the show was high class, and felt very vibey, and it connected you with the MCs in a way that's not very common. Plus, the unfolding of the plot, the truths you're led to, how it explains things, and then the ending, make it incredibly special, and what it doesn't do perfectly can be overlooked. This predates most of the traumatic gems I've seen, and very well could have been a pioneer for this type of story, and helped to normalize anime that play with an eccentric and unforgiving theme. I've seen many more anime since, that follow a similar path that have been extremely successful and mainstream. Take Edgerunners for example, the same studio that made Darling in the Franxx also made Edgerunners. You can see elements of this show in that one, and can also see the areas in where they have improved their technique, or even exceeded limits further. Edgerunners was very well received, and was felt by the mainstream, and I would credit some of that success to the fact that Darling in the Franxx already existed, and they were able to learn from it. So watch Darling in the Franxx, but also Edgerunners too, I'll do a review on it someday. Rank and rating. I have a list comprised of all the anime I've seen, a lot, and they are ordered in general tiers, SSS, down to F. Each tier has an upper, mid, and lower ranking. Darling in the Franxx is a lower rank, in the S class. Overall rating, 90 out of 100. Trauma rating, 89 out of 100. Warmth rating, 70 out of 100. Where to watch? This is available to watch on Crunchyroll. End of review. You're a cracked human being if you made it this far, thanks for that, and send me any suggestions of either something to watch and review, or if I have already seen it, I'll tell you what my thoughts were. You wanna hear something funny? I was posting all my reviews to Reddit, to spread awareness. And I got banned from the Spice and Wolf Reddit page since 2 mods were wildly offended by my review. They couldn't accept me calling the MC chick a cat girl and were like, she's actually an incarnation of the holo god. Like that actually makes a difference. And my comparison to the show being boring like church in their minds meant I was calling the show religious. And they had the gall to call my review low effort when they didn't even finish my 5-minute review. It didn't fit their opinions, so they banned my ass. I found it funny, but also sort of annoying. I guess that's just Reddit. I have had some very cool interactions though, with some thoughtful and nice people, so it hasn't been bad. And the reach on that platform is insane, so I hope it'll help us grow this channel, and keep this train going. My college is starting up soon, and the end of the year is coming, and we've been kind of stalling out on the growth side of things. So if you're still here and somehow aren't subbed, I'd really appreciate it, and why not tell some of your homies about this too? I want to keep making these, and be here for others who need it. I will post again in a week, so see ya then.